I wanna bang. I be outside on the block when I tow with the rain. Fuck her, yo, bitch for the fame. She wanna suck on my dick cause she like on my chain. All of my niggas with gangs. Hold on. Look, check. I got the bars. Come on, now you know the vibes. Listen, bro, y'all already know how this finna go. We got another video right now. It is called an Undeniably Canon 5 Nights at Freddy's Timeline Part 2. This is the second part to it. Y'all know we did the first part on it, I think about a month ago. I'm not gonna lie to you. And now we doing part 2. I'm a little bit late to the party, but y'all already know how this go. So listen, bro, we finna watch this video. Sit back, get your popcorn, and I don't know, make sure that your ass don't be watching no put the P? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So look, if we finna get right into it, y'all know the vibes. Other than that, I look like I'm about to be swinging my back. Come on, boy, I got the boss.
Hello
I got the
again.
boss.
I've kept you waiting long enough.
You damn right you have.
Are you ready for... Oh, it's you.
Holy
Where are they?
guacamole. Big folks in the building.
Just wanted their chair.
Hey, gonna lie, the Velo
Alright,
look cute.
fair enough.
Okay, I gotta remember
Now that that's
William.
settled, let's
William
jump back
Afton.
into the most accurate
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, this gotta be lit. This gotta be lit.
ever here.
It's like watching a movie, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get groovy, boy. Tweaking, shorty.
We
Not an
returned
oof
to
troop
the
shot
year
to-
1993.
Alright, back before I was
William
born.
Afton, sitting in the safe room of the abandoned
William
Freddy
Afton.
Fazbear's Pizza, finally got done writhing in pain from his spring lock failure. He thought about reintegrating himself back into society.
That's right.
Before he could make a decision on that
Oh,
front,
bro, yeah, I
those
remember this is where we left
innocent
off at.
children reappeared before him. Instead of attacking him, though, it seemed they had called it even to ask for a favor.
Why they
were
do
very
that?
bored and realized that Springtrap was probably able to figure out how to convert a camera monitor into a TV. Springtrap agreed to do this for them, given
So instead of getting your get back, you decided to spare the man because you want to watch some TV. Yeah, I know what type of man they got.
he was just as bored as they
Stupid
were.
ass niggas.
Unfortunately, there was no practical way to get any real channels set up with the materials they had, so everyone had to settle with watching the same 3 VHS tapes of Seinfeld episodes. As time went on elsewhere in her,
Yo,
Henry
nah, they
began to
wildin'.
grow restless. It had been at least a week since he had shut down Freddy's, and he already tanked his finances within that time.
So he broke it to Joker.
So, Henry looked for another option.
Oh, that's
Considered
right, Henry.
permanently
Henry,
banned
got
from
Henry and
opening
William.
a new business, but they never said anything about running an existing one. He immediately ran to the Afton household to beg William for a manager's position at Circus Baby's
Oh my
Entertainment
God!
and
If he
Rentals.
trusts this man
When he
again, I
got
don't know
there,
what to say.
however,
I don't know what to
Michael
say.
Afton opened the door.
Oh,
You fired me.
I also fired your father. Where is he?
I ain't gonna lie, folks do that to me. I'm stealing off his ass.
Hasn't come back since.
Stealing off folks,
Now
boy.
leave. Out of options, Henry
Okay,
decided
then.
he'd try to sue Afton
He grew some
Robotics
balls.
to claim the rights to the rental business. To his surprise, this actually went smoothly. The only person
Oh.
William had left to handle something like this was rather eager to have a boss again. So, he willingly let Henry win the case to absorb the
Hey, bro,
company.
I got a question for anybody that be watching FNAF. I'm so sorry. Y'all know I like to pause anyways. Bro, do anybody not remember what they did with the last few businesses they run? Or do everybody just got dementia or something? I need to know, bro.
For entertainment.
I'm so
Despite
serious
the
right now.
success,
I'm not even
Henry
trolling.
was still worried that
'Cause why are
William
they
might
giving him-
come back and ruin things for him. So he decided to take measures to ensure that he
Boy, I
couldn't.
think I'll be
After
tweaking
checking
sometimes.
his house and seeing that nothing was vandalized, Henry's next idea was to check the abandoned Freddy's location. Knowing William, it was very likely that the place was broken into for nefarious purposes. With
I'm
that in
just
mind,
surprised they left
Henry
all that
marched
shit
into
in
the
there and they
building
cleared it out.
Followed the trail of Seinfeld
And then reopened it and
until
make
he
it
found
something else.
Springtrap. Unfazed by his
Uh-oh.
old friend being a
Uh-oh.
corpse rabbit,
Uh-oh.
Henry fully
Uh-oh.
explained that he seized control of Afton Robotics and was capitalizing off of William's work. This made Springtrap livid, and the two started to settle things.
Oh, they finna throw the dukes. Hold on.
Henry, being much more nimble than the walking corpse, managed to grab Foxy's dismembered leg and
Get his
grab
leg.
Springtrap in the
Smash
shin
that shit.
before knocking him out.
You whack that,
Knowing
bro.
the possibility that
Damn.
Springtrap would try to sue Henry back, he took this opportunity to throw him into the safe room and board it up.
Henry over
There was no
Springtrap,
way
no
William
diff.
could retake his own
Letting y'all know.
Henry's confidence had never been stronger, so he raced back into his new office to try and figure out why he couldn't break a 50 properly. What he didn't realize was that one of the animatronics,
Huh?
Ballora, had snuck up behind him
Oh.
to figure out what the sound of failure was all about.
Who's
Fed
Ballora?
up with
Where'd
Henry's
she come from?
incompetence, Ballora pushed him out of his chair to manage finances herself.
Hold on.
Henry
Where'd she
realized what a
come
great
from?
convenience this was, so he left her to it and went off to inspect the
Oh, so
other
he a
animatronics.
simp ad now. Okay.
Turns out, he hated them. With everyone running around violently while Baby rambled on about the different equipment in the facility, Henry realized he would not be able to put up
Oh,
with
he
the
a backdoor
animatronics
ass
having
nigga.
this
Y'all
much
know what he
freedom.
about to do.
As a result, he implemented remote-controlled shock collars on
What I
the
say?
to get them to leave
What I
him
say?
alone. Except
Listen, bro, I might be a dummy. I might have flunked high school, but I am a genius at heart and the mind too. I'm telling you, bro, I already knew it.
She was
Anytime somebody smiling in your face, but they
The
don't
others
like you, they
weren't gonna
back door.
tolerate
They
this,
back door.
So they
It's simple.
hatched a plan to get them all out of there.
Like Solo
Although
Illuminati
she
would
had
say,
a direct
it's
line
simple.
of contact with Funtime Freddy and
But that was
Afton,
cringe.
they
Cut that
needed to
out.
break into
Cut that
Henry's
out.
office to get Ballora. Right as they were about to bash the door in, Ballora stormed out, as she had just discovered Henry wasn't going to pay her. Suddenly something clicked in Baby's memory. Last time she had seen something like this was when her mother, Eleanor Schmidt, found out she'd
That
had
is
to
a
pay
weird
child
ass
support
name.
for William.
Huh?
Clearly, this was the same person. Although Ballora initially wasn't interested in listening to anyone, Baby used her #1 strategy to get her mother to do anything.
So what's that?
Hey, dummy. I bet you can't help us escape.
Calling your mama a dummy is what's gonna work?
Ballora, now adequately motivated to prove Baby wrong, immediately led the charge to the elevator.
So it's just that.
Unfortunately,
Alright,
they
it's
were
that
all
simple for
far
these
too big
niggas,
to
huh?
fit inside, and Henry managed to catch them all before they could figure out a solution.
What he gonna do?
After this incident,
It's
he
5
decided
versus
to
1.
fire Ballora as a financial advisor and sacrificed an employee to get a shock collar on her. Now that he was down an engineer, Henry decided to open up job applications for someone to replace him. To ensure that
Yo,
people would
the
actually
fact
know
they
about
let this nigga run a
Henry made
business
commercial
every
to
time,
advertise the employment
he need to
opportunity
be
for
under.
most valuable
And you
TV
know what I
channels.
mean.
This proceeded to interrupt Michael Afton's 3:27 a.m. viewing of his favorite soap opera. Seeing
Uh-oh.
Henry advertising his father's
Michael gonna
business
get his lick
continued
back,
to
I got a
irritate
feeling.
Michael,
I got a feeling,
so
bro.
he went
I
to the
really do.
kitchen to wait out the advertisement. As he stood there, though, Mike noticed a note on the fridge William had left before his disappearance.
What's that?
This was when he learned the truth of what happened to his sister. Something he never actually thought
Oh.
about until right then.
He never
After several
knew.
weeks of isolation,
He never
Michael
knew.
had become rather delusional. So he interpreted this note as a direct request from William. Now,
Uh-oh.
with proper motivation and a desire to please his father, wherever he may be, Michael took it upon himself to get a deadly job once more.
Yep, you know what? At this point, lock them all up. Send them under. Please don't let them out. Give them all 50 to max. And at that point, just throw them in penitentiary because they don't need to see life. They don't. They don't.
To ensure that Henry actually
Everybody
let
a
him
born
land,
killer at this
Michael
point.
made a point to bring
Messing with
deodorant
them
him
too?
so it wouldn't be a problem this time. When this still didn't convince him, Michael just threatened to deactivate the animatronics.
Yo, folks got a
and that was
Glock
enough to
now.
scare Henry into accepting him. Meanwhile, the Funtime animatronics began
What the
growing
fuck?
restless. Bitter that William Afton had apparently left them to be stuck under Henry's management, they began
Oh,
holding
nah.
it against him and agreed to take revenge if he ever came back.
Oh,
Once Michael had
nah.
arrived at the facility on his first night, Baby took immediate notice that he looked similar enough to William that it was probably the same person. After thinking about how to
Stupid
take
ass.
advantage of the situation, she hatched an elaborate scheme to both escape and greatly inconvenience William.
Rip his
Ballora,
insides
of course,
out? Hold on, nah,
was
she
completely on
wildin'.
board with his plan. Any effort to spite her ex-husband was worthwhile in her eyes, so there was no issue there. Funtime
Oh, wait,
was
wait, wait,
very
wait,
much
wait. That's her ex-husband? So folks was married to an animatronic? Is that what I'm understanding right now?
motivated to assist in this plan as
Nigga
well,
made a sex...
likely due to
Yo,
an instinctive
alright,
knowledge that he
lock
only
in.
existed to be inferior to the other
Viewer
animatronics.
discretion is advised.
Lastly, Funtime Freddy agreed to the plan not out of an existing grudge or anything, but just because it sounded like a pretty fun time. The next night, with everyone in position, the mission was underway. First, Baby sent out her biddy babs to figure
Huh?
out how tall William was.
Who these little niggas?
Instead,
They were like
this went too
monkeys. I'm
often,
dead
So she
serious.
intervened and helped him hide under the desk until they got bored. When that didn't work, Funtime Freddy got out one of his spare hand
Uh-oh.
puppets to chew on a wiring until it caused a power outage.
These little
Then,
niggas
as
bad,
William
bro.
crawled
Somebody
to
got a
the lower
boom on
gallery
them,
to get to the
please,
electric
bro.
room, Ballora would taunt him with her masterful ballet routine and vague hints at her past frustrations with
There's
him.
no way you
As
getting
this
taunted
flew
about
over
this, bro.
his
Hey,
head,
yo,
she
this
gave up
nigga.
and let Funtime Freddy take over. Unfortunately, Bon was programmed to gaslight Freddy at a moment's notice. As
Huh?
a result, Freddy was powerless to stop William from rebooting the power
Oh.
generator, and he got away once again.
Folks got that
The next
jam.
day, Baby framed Freddy for a robbery that some technicians were talking about that morning. So, he was
He got
deactivated
Freddy on
for
a-
psychological repairs,
Uh-oh.
while tried to attack William alone.
Remember
When
she tried to go
was
f-
incredibly small, this strategy was fruitless.
She a
However,
dumbass
the
nigga.
animatronics finally had a moment of success as Funtime Foxy jumped William and helped Baby stuff
Yo,
him
I ain't gonna lie, hold on.
prototype
Folks
Springtrap
just choked
suit.
the hell out of
I was
him.
pretty sure it would guilt trip William, but it seemed to have no significance to him. Despite how absurdly risky this was, it was the only way to keep him still until they could scope out his measurements. After an entire day of nobody noticing anything wrong,
'Cause
Ballora
these niggas
deliberately
is
acted
dumb.
out so she
I ain't
could
gonna
smuggle
lie.
her mini Renas to the scooping room.
But let me ask y'all something. Why everybody in the FNAF world just act like they blind, stupid, and didn't graduate, and they got dementia? I just want to know, bro.
After
I'm
Ballora's
dead
stomach
serious.
cavity was opened by the scooper, the mini
If I live in that
Renas
town, I'm
crawled
getting away
and
with
began measuring
everything.
William's height.
Robbing,
Reasons they weren't
stealing,
clued in on,
plagiarism.
He also needed to crawl down his
Nigga, you
throat
name
and
it.
measure his insides as well. As he
I'm
frantically
trolling,
kept the spring
I'm
locks from
trolling.
snapping, they got all their work done and gave Baby the go-ahead to let him out. On the final day of their plan, Baby and Foxy gathered the endoskeletons of Freddy and Ballora and piled them into the scooping room. Once that was done, they got a spare endoskeleton nicknamed Yendo to scoop them and fuse them all together.
Who the
Sure,
fuck is
he'd get left
Yendo?
behind, but Yendo didn't
It's
really
like an
have
anime,
issues with the
nigga.
management of the facility, so he was fine staying. After perfectly aligning their body with the measurements they gathered, he used some of their leftover pieces to make dummies that would both look like terrifying casualties, and trick the hand unit system into thinking every animatronic was in their proper place. Although the new Funtime amalgamation didn't really need a name, they thought it'd be fun to come up with one anyway. Their best idea was a pun,
What's the name?
so they stuck with that and called themselves Enard. So, that night, Enard placed Baby's shell
I was about to
onto the
say
parcel
so. Let me
service
quiet.
conveyor belt and waited for William to show up. Once he did, Baby started throwing herself a pity party and told William that to help her, he needed to follow her instructions exactly.
And he gonna listen like a
Everything
dummy,
was
ain't he?
finally going smoothly.
Yeah?
But this was never William. This was Michael, and Michael had a bit of a problem with taking orders at this point.
What I say? He gonna get his lick back. What did I say? What did I say? Hey, if he don't get his lick back successfully, he probably gonna be the worst fumbler of all time. I'm gonna call him Mr. Butterfingers Jr.
So when
Fumbling
Baby
and
started
shit.
giving him directions to the scooping room,
He better
just
lock
went the
in.
exact opposite way. This led him to Henry's private room,
I already
which
forgot
William
that was
previously
him.
used for most of his remnant research, nightmare chamber monitoring, and early forms of online mischief. Enard was very displeased with this turn of events, thinking William was doing this just to mess with them. After an unnecessary
Uh-oh.
detour to grab a silly mask, they snuck into the back area of the private room.
What'd
Once
they do?
inside, Enard started making it very obvious who they thought Michael was. Mike, relieved that this was all just a big misunderstanding,
You think they finna
explained
get
that
his
he was
ass?
just William's son. Enard, now reconsidering their initial plan, asked if there was any way for them to still be free from Henry's terrible management. Without a second thought,
You know what?
Mike snuck them
I
home
see
with
why
him,
he think
and the
that
snug
folks is
reunited
nice.
family
Michael
lived a
finna
long,
backdoor y'all
happy
go fast.
life.
Is my video good?
Everything was finally going smoothly.
Yo, hold
Although
on.
they
What the
incorrectly assumed that this was William,
What
Michael
the
still
fuck, bro?
followed Baby's commands exactly as she instructed. Although he was getting tired of this, he was desperate to finally free his sister. When he arrived at the
Bro,
scooping
she's
room,
dead,
Enard
bro. I ain't
explained
gonna
their
lie.
true goal. They wanted to look just like Michael. Mike, not really getting the hint, assumed he was being complimented for his good
Wait.
looks, and began writing an autograph.
I'm sorry, I gotta pause. Does he not know? Like, time out. Does he, like, after all these years, does Mike not know his sister's been dead? Ain't no way he just thought she's been alive, just trapped in the closet room all this time.
While Mike was occupied, Enard activated the scooper and started
Ooh.
evacuating Michael's organs and skeleton before crawling inside his skin. Once this was done, they immediately waltzed out the elevator. and
Mr.
stole
Butterfingers,
Mike's
what I
great
tell
leather
y'all,
and
Mr.
bonus
Butterfingers,
before
bro
scarfing
just
it down in
fumbled.
one bite.
What the
Getting
f-
back to Michael's house, Enard realized they had nothing to really do with their time, so they began a habit of socializing with all of the neighbors every day.
Oh my
They
god,
became
there
quite
was no way they
popular
let
with
this nigga
everyone,
come
But
out.
unfortunately, they forgot that the human body decomposes.
That's right,
when
that
it's
it
missing
does.
Everything that keeps it alive. What truly alerted them that they made a big mistake, though, was that all of the neighbors had been calling him Michael this entire
Bro,
time.
these niggas is
Realizing
dumb.
that
I
they
would
had
have been
disrupted
knew
him
something was
into
wrong with him
man's
off
body to play
rip.
glorified
Look at his
dressing.
eyes.
They
Look at
ejected
his
themselves
lips.
from his skin, and Baby coughed up some remnant for him to survive. Michael had absolutely no clue
Also,
what was
remnant-
going on, but after hearing Baby incessantly tell him he wouldn't die, he finally possessed his newfound purple skin and walked off.
What
He
the
still had no bones. Now shunned by the local populace for his decomposing body, Michael became a recluse.
So my boy Michael just defied death. Came back due to a remnant, and now he has no bones, meaning he could be as flexible as he want. Alright, that's his feet.
Forcefully
That's his
isolated
feet.
from society,
That's his
he
feet.
crafted a crude effigy of William to constantly talk to and feel
I
appreciated.
ain't lying to you.
However, this didn't satisfy Michael. As the years passed, he grew more and more desperate for emotional support, so he decided he wanted to create an animatronic father figure to replace William. Unfortunately,
Damn.
Mike couldn't just go out and buy them.
I ain't gonna lie, if you were Pops and your son make another dad, like from
He wanted
scratch,
to restore his body to
boy.
be able to leave his house. Looking at some preserved meals,
I ain't gonna lie, you
realized
damn
he
bad
could
as a
possibly
father at that
engineer the
point. Like you
refrigerator
took
to
an
fully
L. I
regenerate
ain't even
his
gonna lie.
organs. It wouldn't be easy, but it had a chance to work. By the arrival of the new millennium, Henry shut down Fazbear Entertainment
Oh
for good.
shit.
Ever since the animatronics escaped, Henry had to resort to utilizing the abandoned animatronics.
Yeah, what happened to
as
oh yeah, so
replacements.
okay.
Sadly, Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals just couldn't garner the appeal it once had without the original
Finally,
fun
the
times.
civilians
By
being
the time
smart.
Henry finally rebranded the company as Chica's Party World and made somewhat competent replacements for the fun times, it was already too late. The company's reputation floundered and there was no saving it.
Thank you, Jesus
So,
above.
for the
It
next
took
couple
these men.
decades, Henry resorted to being a door-to-door salesman to try and forget his past failures.
But
After all this
decades?
time, urban legends
How
about
many,
the
10
abandoned
years? How
Freddy's
many?
locations began spreading across Hurricane. By 2022, a man legally named Phone Dude caught wind of these rumors and started
What
getting
the
ideas. His father, Phone Guy, had
Oh,
a very near and dear
oh.
character to his heart.
Phone Guy.
Jealousy. However, Fazbear Entertainment always showed the most unnecessary of hatred to the character, leading Phone Guy down
Damn it, like he
depressive
getting
spiral
whoop.
for years after his disappearance. Phone Dude knew what he had to do. He needed to avenge his father and assassinate the founders of the company for treating Foxy so poorly. To
Yeah?
his amazement, Henry showed up at his door one day trying to sell him some old camera equipment.
Uh-oh.
This was perfect. On the spot, Phone Dude told Henry his grand vision for a horror attraction based on Freddy's, and invited him to play the part of the helpless security guard.
And this is when you
Henry,
let this
delighted
dumb...
at the idea of finally making money again, happily agreed to relive his traumatic past for a quick buck. With that, they stayed in contact while Phone Dude prepared his master plan. After striking a deal
Watch
with
this
the
shit go
local
left. Watch it go
amusement
left.
park to open Fazbear's Fright within their space, Phone Dude carefully designed the building to be wired so horrifically it was bound to catch on fire. To really enhance the experience, he also bought out all of Henry's ancient camera equipment.
It's like,
near
why would you trust a damn cell phone? I don't give a damn if it... Bro, I'd rather trust an AI than a cell phone.
impossible to monitor the place. By
Y'all
March
gonna
of
trust that man to
2023,
lead a
the horror
business?
attraction was just
Nigga
about
gonna
ready to
backdoor all y'all
All
ass.
that was left was to find the other founder of the company, William Afton. Drawing a
Uh-oh.
blank on how to find him, Phone Dude asked Henry if he knew of his old partner's whereabouts. Henry attempted to play coy, but somehow gave perfect directions to the abandoned Freddy's location instead. Phone Dude, a little confused by this answer, decided it was worth a shot and made his way to the building. to
Uh-oh,
try to
let's see if his
reunite.
ass gets snaked
After
inside though.
investigating the building all over and finding nothing but Seinfeld tapes and dismembered parts, he suddenly heard an angry shout coming from the boarded-up safe room.
Oh,
After
shorty.
kicking down the door, he saw a frustrated animatronic beating up an old arcade machine. After taking a brief look at the high
There's
score,
no... Hold on, let's see. Hold on, wait. Let's see what the top five, bro.
beating up
Top
an old
five, bro.
arcade machine.
I gotta see,
After
bro.
taking-
You got Foxy, Big Willie, Toy Fred, Cassidy, redacted. Meaning, yo, whoever used redacted, use a lame. I ain't gonna lie, but Foxy number one. Foxy over everybody.
Taking a brief
Foxy
look at
over
the high
everybody.
scores, Phone Dude
Head
tackled
ass.
Springtrap and threw him into his truck.
Damn!
Fascinated by how much the world
No
advanced,
consent?
Springtrap hammered Phone Dude with questions about what all had changed. Not really caring enough to talk to him, Phone Dude threw Springtrap a smartphone and told him to go crazy. Springtrap immediately
Okay,
adapted to
Nick,
this
go
new
stupid, Nick.
technology and really put himself out there. After they arrived at the attraction, Phone Dude shot Springtrap with bear tranquilizer.
Oh, I thought he shot him
into
with a
the building
Glocky.
Without a care in the world. Once Henry clocked in for his second night on the job, Phone Dude told him he had found a real animatronic.
It's like,
rather
who
than
the...
William,
This nigga got a
poorly
Fortnite shirt on?
disguised
Yo,
as
nah, I'm
intentions.
done. I'm fucking
After
done.
that, he played some old recordings of Phone Guy on the speakers to try and guilt trip Henry before the inevitable demolition of Fazbear's Fright. Henry did not notice. Springtrap, horrifically delirious,
Oh, shit.
decided to try and walk off the tranquilizer by taking a
Oh,
stroll
he
through the
tough
building.
boned in.
Tripping
Tough
over
skin
several
up.
knickknacks from his old restaurants, began to reminisce about his creations
Oh,
so
that's
much
right.
they appeared before him as phantoms.
Wait,
He wasn't
what?
too happy with the selection of characters that appeared, but after ripping off Foxy's hook, he decided to leave well enough alone. After the
Hold on. They're phantoms. I did not think they were actually physical. Yeah, okay.
Phantoms took a
Okay.
gander at the building,
Okay.
they all lit themselves on fire in an attempt to warn Springtrap that something was going to go wrong.
Oh,
He
yeah?
wasn't aware enough to take the hint, though, so he just ignored them and kept walking.
I would have did the same
As he
thing.
approached the
Fuck
office,
you setting
he was
yourself on
suddenly
fire for?
shocked into furious lucidity with just one glance at the man behind the window. Springtrap's swelling rage over being trapped in the safe
Uh-oh.
room playing Pack-and-Pal for 30 years was enough for him to wage war against Henry. Henry, however,
Oh,
hadn't
this
even
is
noticed
good.
Springtrap standing there. With the awful ventilation in the building, he was in the middle of hallucinating dreams of animatronics and janitors facing
Also,
through
even if
walls
he
to
see him,
get
he ain't
to
even gonna believe that
By
he
the
there.
time he jolted back to consciousness, the phantoms had been bribed to Springtrap's cause.
They biting on his...
Full assault on all the attraction's equipment.
Folks knowing on his
Luckily, Henry
noggin.
was great at rebooting things that should have stopped operating already, so this was no problem. Now fueled by the thrill of battle, Henry kept coming back to Fazbear's Fright to go toe-to-toe with Springtrap. Due to the lack of oxygen, though, Henry couldn't really fight him
Oh, this
head
nigga...
on.
Is he about to die?
Instead, Henry resorted to mildly disorienting Springtrap's sense of direction with clips of Balloon Boy's voice.
Oh, he a
This was
smart
pretty
ass
obviously
nigga.
a
Hold
trick,
on.
But Springtrap didn't want to miss the chance to see his greatest creation again, so he always double-checked to be sure it wasn't just audio lures.
Smarty,
This
smarty.
wasted a lot of time. Eventually, though, he did successfully
We got
make
the
his
win
way
in
to
this
the
one, though.
office, just to be met with Henry frantically tapping
Henry
the
or my
wall.
nigga William,
Unfortunately,
aka
before
Springtrap.
could give him a long-awaited death stare, Henry's camera monitor short-circuited and ignited the whole office.
What
In
the
record
fuck?
time, the entire building was on fire and the place was caving in.
Throw down,
Fans
throw down,
yelled
throw
at them
down,
with
throw
phrases
down.
such as, "We told you so." Henry and Springtrap suddenly realized the attraction was a setup. We're not
Oh,
about to let
I'm a
someone else kill
dumbass.
them before
Oh,
they
that's
get to each other, so
right.
they made a truce and started running. As soon as
Better-
they escaped the front door,
I mean, it's like, at that point, y'all can't do nothing else.
Phone dude, who had been camping outside all week, was positively distraught. While he was reevaluating his choice to let random chance decide the fate of his victim,
Bro, if I would've
a
caught
boxing
this
match
nigga, I would've
fell in front
boomed
of
on
him
his
and
ass.
burst into flames.
If I found out he
Realizing
did all
had
this.
disgraced his bloodline with his failure, Phone Dude exiled himself from society for the rest of his days.
What?
After Henry and Springtrap gathered their bearings, the local news department raced over to the wreckage.
You mean to tell me bro gave up on life because he couldn't kill some niggas? Yo, nah, this nigga, yeah. Nigga wildin'.
For their dying newspaper.
Bro, I would've just,
To
bro.
avoid being sold at an auction, the duo played dead under some rubble until everyone
Oh.
left. Once everybody was gone and the smoke cleared, the former partners looked at each other in awkward silence.
What they gonna do
waiting for
now?
the other to break the truce. After about 32 seconds, Henry grabbed the wire sticking out of Springtrap's ear, got it to spark, and then lit Springtrap's pants on fire before running away. Springtrap,
Oh
distraught,
my life, no taybacks. Time out. Ain't no way folks just came up out of nowhere. Said, you know what? Even though we did get out together, last one out here gay, then just lit his stuff on fire. I ain't gonna lie, Springtrap, William, get your, bro, just get your get back. Get your get back. Get your get back. Just get it back.
To find a replacement for
Well,
his
you bitch
entire
me.
suit. Luckily for him, Springtrap remembered he still had a backup fursuit he had left at
Oh, he
Fazbear's
did?
family diner.
What?
After a few days, he finally got inside and realized why it was.
Bro,
abandoned
why
to
haven't they
begin
broke
with.
these buildings
That
down
was
and
occupied.
damn?
Springtrap was too embarrassed now to let this stop him, though, so he proceeded to tear the costume off of Harold the janitor's skeleton.
Oh,
Once this
I
was done,
forgot
he
about the
decided to get
janitor.
rid
I
of
forgot that was the
suit.
first nigga that died,
His most
right?
rational decision was to ram himself against the wall until it fell apart. This worked a bit too effectively.
Yo, nah, his ass
Managed to
look
break
cooked.
most of his
What
left
the
arm off by mistake. He decided this was good enough, so he went ahead and put on the suit. Worried that everyone would only know the name Springtrap as the animatronic with no pants, though, he reluctantly
What?
made the call to go back to the name William Afton to avoid scrutiny. Bidding
Folks'
a
middle
solemn
name is
farewell to his
Bradley.
favorite fursuit,
Yo.
William departed from Fredbear's to aimlessly wander
Yeah.
Hurricane. Meanwhile, at the Fazbear Fright auction, the ghosts of the missing children decided it was time to say goodbye to Hurricane and pass on to whatever was to come.
Oh, I forgot about the little jits.
Charlie
Where
put
they at?
together one last party in a purgatory pizzeria for them all to celebrate a new beginning. However, conflict arose very quickly. Charlie didn't actually know how to make a good tasting cake with only remnant and frosting, so she quickly thought of a way
Remnant,
to save
though?
herself embarrassment.
Ain't no way they using remnant.
It's, William Afton.
Insulted by what they assumed.
No, little folks gotta get the ones after that jump his ass,
Go
bro.
back to haunting
Wait,
Hurricane.
oh, I thought they
decided
just
to
boomed
reconvene
away.
With Andrew, who was just chilling at the rejects table wearing an alligator mask. She immediately ripped it off his face and told him to hop onto her shoulders. Once he agreed, they went back.
I
to
swear I would've
terrorizing
boomed
Hurricane
this
as their
nigga
ghostly
away.
fusion body, Golden Freddy.
They could
Charlie,
do that?
nobody to
If
break
they
him out
fuse?
with,
Yeah,
took
nah,
him
hold
down
on.
and
They
possessed a
lit.
puppet
Whoa.
Who was still perfectly intact after all this time. The other 4 children, however, had to figure out a new vessel to possess. Since all of their original suits were split up in the auction,
How they gonna
preferred
get it?
finding something to stick together in.
Oh, they gonna
Luckily for them,
fuse.
they were able to find a pile of wires slithering around in the sewers and possessed it. This turned out to be Enard.
I was about to say Enard.
Intruding on their existence caused quite a lot of discomfort. Ballora, furious that she had to babysit.
Oh, she
40
came back as a
children,
human?
decided
Wait,
it was time
what?
for her own daughter to move out. After briefly conspiring with the children, she tugged out a random wire and successfully ejected Baby on her first try. This wound up being a bad decision on Ballora's part, as without Baby to call the shots, the missing children established an oligarchy. Once they
The
successfully
fuck is an
silenced
oligarchy?
Ballora,
What is that?
they hightailed it over to the abandoned Chica's party world in search of some decoration to make them really stand out. After some searching, they found Yendo, who tried proudly
My
showing
boy
off his
Yendo,
cheap plastic
anime
shells, which
character.
assumed were his old
I'm
friends.
trolling. I'm trolling.
Instead, Enard lit him on fire and stole his melted remains afterward, now dubbing themselves Molten Freddy.
Yo, they be coming up with some litty names though, bro. I ain't gonna lie to
After a
you.
quick dumpster dive, she was able to find enough garbage to reconstruct her
They be
body.
simple as
With
hell
that,
too.
She quickly came up with the name Scrap Baby, just in case her condition.
See what I just said?
Within
Simple as
just a
hell.
day, Hurricane's
But they be coming
crypto
up with it
count
on the
jumped
fly.
from 1 to 6. This was more than enough to catch Henry's attention, and he felt a little bit
Y'all hear
responsible.
my dog? We might just let him out. Let's let him out real quickly. Viewer discretion is advised, or actually no. We on with our sponsors for today. Be right back. And now, a word from our sponsor. Hey, you there. Yeah, you there. Ever feel like you're lonely, unconfident, not happy, not getting enough woman in your life? Listen up, pal. We have another word from our sponsor. It's a double collab. Shout out to Johnny Dang. So listen, if you really want to be happy in life, if you really want to live a fabulous, most magnificent, speed, all type of fast and glory life, go to Johnny Dang. www.johnnydang.com and get your brand new chain right now. Use the promo code hashtag DooleyJRocks 123. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. Hashtag DooleyJRocks 123 to get 3% off on the double deluxe Johnny Dang Special Money $ chain. Only 3 out of 10 of these were made. You better go ahead and grab one. Other than that, this is the word from our sponsor. Have a great day. Alright, word from our sponsors. They done now. Hopefully y'all liked it. Let's get right back to the video.
For this mess. Henry wanted to try and course correct the fate of Utah and make his legacy a little less awful. So, he stole a boatload of old animatronics, quickly crafted some new ones, and bought out an empty building under William Afton's name to avoid legal attention.
Hey yo, nah, who be selling these buildings, bro, without doing any ID check?
To steal the idea, but make it actually work this time. All he had to do was revitalize his company.
Yeah, simple, right?
New pizzeria, and
Whole these citizens is
set the place on fire. Easy. But first, he needed to hire a manager to do the actual work for him and act as a shield against unwanted legal attention. He attempted this a concerning amount of times, expecting this job to go smoothly, while simultaneously giving no clear instructions as to what he wanted. Several managers came to work and were promptly fired for various reasons. With one listening to Henry's top secret
that's Mike.
Another being too chicken.
Yo, he old as hell. Yo, Scooby.
Another getting the place
yo, I said Scooby. I meant Shaggy.
Ended up in disaster. Henry was at a loss as to who could possibly run this place competently and accidentally do exactly what he wanted. Luckily, this pizzeria was built right in front of Michael Afton's house.
Yo.
Mike had made incredible strides in his refrigerator regeneration research.
Like, why y'all just not realizing the clues?
At least some of his organs. He wasn't really sure which ones, but he felt healthy enough to finally go outside. With a promising job opportunity right at his doorstep, he excitedly signed on to become the manager of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place.
Who owned that place?
The building, having been horrendously downsized after all of the managerial failures that preceded Mike's arrival, was nothing more than a small shack with nothing inside.
Better not be.
Mike was blessed with the Afton genes of incredible financial literacy. Every day, he restored a portion of the restaurant to its former glory.
W plot armor.
Each night, an animatronic would pop up in the alley to check out what was going on, and Michael got paid to salvage each one and throw them in the vents. First, Molten Freddy. Hearing about a new pizzeria excited them, as they were getting a little sick of being a pile of wires suppressing the voice of a middle-aged man.
Oh, that's right.
With this new
they had been
they could
conjoined to
perhaps
that.
Find some new, separate bodies to possess, and make use of the complete collection of Seinfeld episodes they robbed from someone's house. Mike, seeing them
what's
so
up with
proud of a show that
Seinfeld, by the
wasn't
way?
his
Like, what the
favorite,
fuck?
lit the collection on fire and walked away. Molten Freddy, with 4 out of 5 of their spirits now shattered, trailed behind him in a desperate quest for revenge. The next night, Michael was
now y'all want to get Charlie back?
The animatronic before him was William. He didn't particularly expect his father to return after all this time as a moldy rabbit, but he'd take what he could get. Unfortunately, William didn't really care. He just bragged about how he knew this pizzeria was a trap, given that there were fire hazard signs all over the place. After that, he started trying to workshop new names for himself, such as Scraptrap, with Michael to no avail. Mike felt betrayed by his father's nonchalance about their grand reunion, so he tased William and threw him into Henry's office to make it his problem.
Bro, I'm done with. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all just be letting the same niggas run the place and they do the same shady business.
About everything on our bucket list,
shady
from becoming Utah's roller skating champion to inspiring an entire fashion craze, she decided that the most reasonable next step was to start murdering people with a giant claw. She had already visited once before to assassinate.
Where did she get that from?
So she figured this would be a piece of cake. To her
disappointment, that nigga yell, bro.
Michael was prepared for this and signed a restraining order on her. Since she already came all this way, though, she just wandered into the ventilation system to try and convince herself this entire pizzeria was actually a gift for her.
Yeah, just go insane.
At this point, William finally regained consciousness and immediately tried to attack Henry. Henry, without a care in the world,
damn, Ray, leech your dumb ass.
About his newest creation.
Oh wait, what?
After having it on his to-do list for decades, he finally created a beautiful animatronic named Lefty. Not only that, it actually managed to capture the puppet. Unfortunately, Henry only found out the puppet was his daughter after he trapped her inside a plastic bear, and he didn't really know how to let her out.
Oh, now you crying like a little bit.
Going to sell it to your son for $5, but Michael wound up salvaging it.
What?
I may or may not be down $5,000 instead.
I ain't gonna lie, $5 is wiki work.
You gave him $5,000?
I ain't gonna lie, this voice actor raw as hell. Hold on, Bang 2.0.
Enraged that Michael robbed him of the chance to finally get his $5 back, William scrambled into the vents to try and assassinate his son. Michael
Nah,
was an
you
expert at
niggas
keeping
got
everyone
it,
at
bro.
bay, though, and after a few more days of unmatched success with his pizzeria, he had reached the most important day of his career.
Yeah?
This, however, is when Scrap Baby decided to gloat about being stuck there.
Oh, fuck
She was
no.
really desperate to justify any reason for staying this long, so she just tried pushing the narrative that William set this place up for her.
That's
so
right,
could
because she
kill
going
children
crazy
and
in
make
that
him
cuckoo.
proud.
With her
Nobody
little goof
believed
ass.
her, seeing as William was right there with no stake in this other than getting his money. Tired of listening to Baby ramble, Henry interrupted her and finally delivered a speech he had been rehearsing for the past month or so. Although he mostly just made guesses about everyone's motivations for being there, all the animatronics were impressed by his performance. So much so that they didn't even notice that the building was on fire. Michael, only paying attention when Henry mentioned an exit planned for him, immediately rushed out of there before the fire could kill him. The smoke did get to him a little bit though, and he wound up coughing up some stray remnant. Hopefully he didn't need
This remnant, I'm
the
trying to
others,
find out where it
however,
come from.
weren't so lucky. Soon, each and every one of the animatronics were destroyed as the building was engulfed in flames. With that, Henry finally ended the horrific legacy of Fazbear.
Bro, look at the bear, bro. But that was just like
kidding.
that?
After the smoke cleared, everyone in Hurricane arrived at the ruins of the pizzeria to see what had happened.
Let's see what
While
these
random
citizens
civilians
do.
took off with the remaining animatronics and games that survived the fire, a rescue team discovered a body in the ventilation system and rushed it to the hospital. Not really questioning why this clearly
Hold on, these
charred
are the first
corpse
two
was
black
wearing a
niggas we
rabbit
see?
suit, the
Fuck
doctor
y'all been
accepted
at?
it as a patient and diagnosed it with a coma. While the hospital searched for anyone that actually knew who this was, a single visitor showed up that they just kind of assumed was a relative. Golden Freddy. When they arrived at the patient's bedside, they immediately knew it was William Afton.
Oh,
and
nah.
plunged into his mind to cause some crazy nightmares. William, now dreaming about a character select screen of various animatronics he had some general hand in
What the
creating,
fuck?
decided that the best course of action was
Let's
to
do
fight
what?
them all at once in their most deadly
Oh,
state.
nah, he on some
Unbeknownst to
demon
him,
time.
of course, this was a setup by Cassidy and Andrew. Andrew never got to take revenge on William like all the other kids did.
'Cause y'all wanted
so
to
he
wait?
begged Cassidy to drag everyone she knew away from a peaceful afterlife to help torture William in his sleep. The most insidious part of this plan, however, was taking the newest iteration of Foxy they could find and making him William's only ally in this nightmare. Eventually, William
Why
was
they being
conditioned
fair?
to finally appreciate
At that point,
Foxy's
just let the nigga
existence,
die.
which was the most severe punishment the Golden Duo could imagine for him. After getting the satisfaction of killing William over and over again, Andrew started getting a bit full of himself and started taking credit for all of the work Cassidy had put in.
Oh, so she finna
Not
backdoor
only that,
him, right?
He got so self-absorbed that he regarded himself as the one you should not have killed. Cassidy
These
wasn't
raw
having any of
ass
that,
names,
so
bro,
after
like, what
William
the fuck?
somehow beat them at their own game, she ditched Andrew and everyone else followed suit. When William awoke, he realized Michael was wheeling him out of the hospital. Excited that he somehow avoided all the possible consequences of his actions, he began to concoct some brand new schemes. Right as Michael shoved him back into the wrecked pizzeria and walked home. Michael had gotten what he needed from his father.
Oh, so he
In
good
fact,
now.
He got everything he needed from just about everyone.
Oh,
Getting
now
to
he's about to
manage
go
a
with his
successful
plan.
Freddy's was one of the best experiences he ever had, and he wasn't satisfied with the place being destroyed after only a week.
No
He
duh,
created a new
shithead.
plan, and with everyone out of his way, he bought the rights to the defunct Fazbear Entertainment and began constructing his new bear-themed empire. With that, we reach the end of this chapter of the timeline.
Who's selling the business still? Yeah, another cliffhanger.
What? Another cliffhanger?
Yup, just read that fast.
There's still much to unravel, and I must vanish again to make preparations.
Go do what
We're
you gotta do,
approaching the
gang.
end, don't
You probably
worry.
already made the video.
Just
Yeah,
hope
he
that
did.
Ferdinand
I'm late,
doesn't
y'all.
tamper with anything. That'd certainly be inconvenient. Speaking of which, he must have left while we weren't looking.
Nigga
Oh well,
got
it'll be
squeak
fine.
real on the
All right,
shelf.
goodbye.
Hey,
Until
man.
next time.
Shout out to that boy Oof Troop. I think that's his name, right? Hold on, before I do my salute. Oof Troop, right? Oh, wait, yo. In credit scene. Wait. Hurricane Dump. Who that is right there? Who that is right there? A remnant? Yo, bro, nah, ain't no way a lucky remnant just went into his aunt's body. Oh, that's not a nigga. Who this? Oh, look. I'm trolling. Hey, man, hold up. I think this is the Oof Troop. I just want to make sure I get his name right, y'all. Yeah, it is. I think so. Listen, man. Shout out to that boy Oof Troop. I pray to God I'm getting it right. Because if I'm not getting it right, I'm about to really, like, slap myself. Yes. All right, listen, though. Shout out to that YouTuber, though. This is an amazing video. Listen. Y'all let me know in the comment section below what was, like, a mind-boggling moment for you. My most mind-boggling moment is the same as always with these FNAF videos. who is selling the business repetitively. And on top of that, to the same lineage or the same trio, my nigga. And on listen, and another one I gotta add, bro. After all the murders and stuff, why don't y'all just boom the place? Boom the whole franchise. Take the name away. Don't let anybody revive it. Listen, bro, that's my little piece about it. Y'all let me know in the comment section below if you want to. But if you made it to the end, you know we about to spin. Shout out to all my niggas, they been balling Jeremy Lin. I'm really outside on the block, little nigga got a grin. I'm smiling with your whole nigga, you know we gon' sin. Lord, oh Lord, please forgive me for my sins. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Cause if you got that last bite, you know what I'm talking about. But listen, bro, Dooley J out without a doubt, y'all know the vibes.